In the meantime, the jobs number, as you know, 559,000 in May, less than the estimate of 671,000. Unemployment down to 5.8 from 6.1. With more on this, let's bring in the U.S. Labor Secretary, Marty Walsh. Mr. Secretary, welcome back. Happy Friday. It's good to see you again.
Happy Friday. Thank you for having me today.
So the general read on the street is, we were looking for a number that would be conclusive in some ways. And a lot of people are still looking for what this is telling us about progress. Why did the labor force participation rate come down a touch? What has it told you?
I mean, what it's telling us is that President Biden's economic plan is working. We've added over 540,000 jobs over the last 4 months since the president has been in office. It shows that unemployment rate came down this month, but we still have a ways to go. I mean, there's no question about it. We're recovering from a pandemic, and, it'd be great when we shut down the economy, basically, because of the pandemic. You can't just flip a switch and get it back on, but there's a lot of good signs. We're seeing the largest job growth in leisure and hospitality. We saw it in education and public education. So those are great signs, and as we continue to move forward here, we hopefully will continue to see these gains.
Last month when we talked, you did not believe that the employment supplemental was a factor in delaying people's return to work. We've had some states now stop it on their own. Do you think the progress month on month is related to that?
Well, I think you're seeing in this month, as I said, in the hospitality industry, which includes restaurant and bars. That's one of the biggest concerns people had. People weren't going into those industries. That's where we saw the gain. And I think as we continue to move forward here over the course of the next couple of months, we'll get more and more people back into work, back into the economy, and that's going to be important for us moving forward. In the UI benefit, I mean, that was there. Thank God it was there because people were able to keep a roof over their head and keep food on the table during the pandemic. And we're getting, we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel getting larger, thank God, and hopefully we'll continue to move down that road.
Yeah, I'm curious, though, how you see that road going. I mean, at this point, it's not that many weeks away till some of the benefits start to expire. As Carl pointed out, in certain states, it's they're not getting the supplemental as well. So you expect the next jobs report to reflect more people looking for work yet again?
Well, it'll be great to see that, obviously. I don't want to speculate or make any predictions today because it's a month away. But when we look at the hospitality industry, leisure industry, tourism industry that's been hit probably one of the hardest, we've seen significant gains now from last month to this month. And as we get into the warmer months and the summer months where people travel, we'll hopefully continue to see those gains happening. And I think that hopefully the dependence on unemployment goes away and we'll have fewer and fewer people looking to be on unemployment. We saw the lowest drop in unemployment claims last week, which is a great sign as well. So, there are good positive signs here. I don't want to be, I don't think it's doom and gloom or trying to sugarcoat anything. This is a good, solid report moving forward, and we just need to continue to make gains like this, like we did today.
Yeah, well, I would assume you're also encouraged by, what has been fairly significant wage growth, particularly in hospitality and leisure. Although in our world, Mr. Secretary, of course, that always leads to concerns about inflation. I don't know if you have those conversations in the offices that you're in, but we certainly do over here. Do you have any?
Yeah, no, we certainly keep an eye on all that. We had a conversation this morning, so we're watching that very closely with inflation to see what the impacts of the wage increases are. But and we're going to continue to monitor that closely as we move forward here. And in some cases where we can make adjustments.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, it's Morgan. Just to dig into that a little bit further, I mean, we have average hourly earnings up 0.5% versus the prior month, stronger than expected, at least from a street standpoint. You factor that in with the NFIB saying record high number of U.S. small businesses that can't fill job openings right now. Is there really a need to actually increase the federal minimum wage?
No, there definitely is. I think increased wages is important for the American people. It's important for the worker. It's going to be important for the economy. It would allow people to spend more money in the economy. And I think that, what I don't want to see is taking wages backwards. I think it's important. The president's message is about creating opportunities into the middle class, and creating opportunities and getting into the middle class means better wages for people.
Where are we in terms of the infrastructure talks right now? There's a lot of reports coming out about negotiations around what the corporate tax rate is going to look like, what the final number is going to be. Where do we stand?
Well, this is a very fluid conversation. As you saw, you guys reported yesterday, the president had some very important conversations with leaders in the Senate to talk about what that plan looks like. It's still a very fluid plan, and we're all negotiating. We're all talking to different people. I've been around the country talking about the American Jobs Plan. I've been talking to members of Congress, members of the Senate. Other people have been doing the same thing. So I think it's the important part here is that it's actually a negotiation. It's a conversation, and we're having all people at the conversation now. This is not about not having people at the table. And I think from the very beginning, when the president talked about this, he was talking about having a bill that's a bipartisan bill that can move forward. And that's, again, I don't know what the end result will be, but right now these conversations are happening, and that's important.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.